Kris, I wanted to ask you about Leon. I don't know how to. He's a superstar player, but like Connor, always like sort of pushing, figuring out ways to be better. And he even said, even if I could be 1 or 2% better, what kind of leadership does that show, both for you and the team when you have a player like that?
Well, both of them have been striving to be the best, and they've become the best with their both having Hart Trophy, Connor multiple. But when they reach that pinnacle where they are the best, they want to continue being the best, and they understand that other players want to become as good or better than them, and if they relax, then they get past. And I think what's made them special is how competitive they are. Like, yeah, they're gifted, they're tremendous athletes, but they've really worked on their game, on and off the ice. So, when other players see that commitment and that work level, then it's contagious. So it's tremendous leadership, and as a coach, you're very grateful to have that.
Are they like low maintenance in that way? That they're going to be fit, they're going to be ready, they're going to be motivated.
Well, absolutely. As a coach, you want the guys, always working on their game, always trying to get better, and whether that's, getting a little bit faster or stronger, their shot getting a little bit quicker release. You look at the drills in training camp, and they're never taking a rep off. They feel that this rep they can push themselves to get a little bit better, faster, and they're using it to just get better. So, it just pushes the pace. Not only the players see it, but it really sets the tempo for the whole group.
Lots of discussion on Savoy and Howard, mainly because of the rookie camp and a couple 21-year-olds, but the organization signed a couple older European veterans. What have you noticed at maybe a little bit at the captain's skates, but more through the first couple of days with David Tomasek and Arturo Leppinen?
Well, two very smart players. Tomasek can really shoot the puck. Leppinen, I think, we'll see more when we start playing the games, but he's had a strong impression throughout the coaches when we've been talking about him. Good head on their shoulders, and I think right now it's about playing the North American game. And when I say North American game, it's just really mostly things happen faster. There's a little more physicality, but I don't think either one of those are going to shy away from that. I think it's just feeling the pressure and not having quite as much time, and not having as much escape room when you do get the puck, when you are pressured. So once they get familiar with that, I think the exhibition games will really be a good tell.
Sorry if you were asked about this already, but Leon Draisaitl said he wants to be in consideration for the Selke Award this year. Can you maybe just a thought on his defensive game, and since you've been in here, and how he keeps working on that side of the puck?
I think he definitely should be consideration for Selke, if not the winner. And I think last year should have had more votes. I know he got the Rock Richard, but if anyone saw him play regularly, understands that he's a tremendous defensive player, and he takes a lot of pride in that. He's not only is he a smart player to read plays and know what the opposition's trying to do, but the effort he does defensively. I don't know how many times he's back checking the way he does and break up plays, and you don't usually see the best offensive players commit to defense like that. And absolutely, I think he should definitely have one or two before he retires that trophy, because he is a good defensive player.
He says he really admires, Kopitar and the way he plays, and kind of, a little wants to model himself about that. Just want to ask you about Kopitar retiring and not having to face him beyond this season.
Leon has a lot of respect for him, and when they go head to head, I think he likes that challenge because he respects him as a player. Kopitar has been a tremendous player. I'm not sure when he got in the league, mid-late 2000s, but what he's done in his career, and for him to retire, watching him play last year, looked like he had many years more if he wanted to, but there's a player that has a lot of respect throughout the league.
Kris, goaltending's always hot button topic around here. What do you feel about your goaltenders going into this year, and what have you kind of noticed from the first year or two?
Well, I know Stu spent a lot of time with conditioning this year and looked a lot just lighter, which not that he was overweight, but he just wanted to be a little bit quicker. So I know he put in a lot of effort into that. Picks is absolute battler, and it's only 2 days of training camp, and you just see the drills, and it's not game-like, but they put in great efforts and performances for the first 2 skates.
What does Pete Opry do for them? Or how does he kind of change the message?
I'm not. I think time will tell what that message is. I think it's so early, you can't say, because he's still developing a relationship, and I think both the guys are welcoming it, but I can't really say that he's changed how they're playing or done anything drastic. It's a relationship that'll take a little bit of time, and hopefully you can get the best out of those two.
Change in voice, change in, just a different voice. Kind of.
Yeah, absolutely different voice, and we're hoping that helps them. I think, they put in a pretty good performances throughout the year, especially at certain point in times. They played really well, and let's not discredit the work that was done before, because they were getting very good coaching before, and I don't want to say anything, but we're looking forward for Peter just having a new voice, maybe a different perspective, and hopefully we can get just a little bit more out of those guys.
How should that be something that helps the rest of the team, because your coaching staff does have a few new faces, and what's the approach that you take to help lead and kind of galvanize everyone together?
We're all our relationships are all pretty new to our because obviously Mark Stewart, we've been working together for the last couple of seasons. Other than that, the other guys we're just getting to know and knowing their strengths, and obviously we go through the interview process and knowing how they'll complement our coaching staff. And now that we're working together, it's been a really good fit, whether they're new perspective on how things should be done and how we should play, new drills. I think new ideas are good, and those coaches definitely pushing me to get better and knowing more about the game, because I've been coaching a certain way with coaches, and I learned something from every assistant coach that I've had. Now I get some more who are, I've only spent a couple weeks with them, but they're phenomenal, and I look forward to a lot more time with them.
Kris, we saw Ryan Nugent-Hopkins play on that third line at times last year. What does having him as an option there do just for depth?
Ryan's a really smart hockey player, defensively responsible, but it can also make plays, and good disher, distributor. I think there's certain players that he can play with that he can really complement, whether they're, I know he spent some time last year with Arvidsson and Podkolzin on the line when our other guys were hurt, and, I thought we probably got the best out of him. I thought he played his best in the middle, so, that is his natural position. Obviously, he's been playing a lot of left wing last couple of years, but, if you ever to ask him what his position is, he'd probably answer center, and I do think he is a better centerman, and out of necessity, he's had to play left wing. What we do this year, I guess, would probably be split right now. If I look at, after 82 games, how much he played on the left wing and how much is center, I'd probably say maybe 40-60, 50-50, something like that. But he'd definitely be playing more center this year than he had last year.